All right, let's see here. This is a very informal, uh, impromptu stream, and I'm just sort of working out the bugs for this. So audio's like not that great right now, but I'll get better, I promise. Um, so let's see here. Okay, I'm going to jump over to the chat and see what we got going on here. Webcam, yeah, currently disabled for live streaming. Okay, well, apparently chat is disabled. So, yeah. All right. So, for future reference, I am going to edit this live stream video. I'm going to bookmark all the various, like the various timeline points where I'm showing something. So, for example, like when I talk about the Python stuff, I'll bookmark the various links that I visit. So, all those bookmarks will be linked in the description below. When I get into other types of software, of course, I'm going to be bookmarking links and everything. So it's going to be super easy for any newcomers to survive. And for future reference, I'll also say, hey, in the Coach's Corner 01, getting started, I'll probably reference that a lot in future videos, future live streams to come. I had every intention on doing a live stream on Tuesday, the 2nd of March, but we were having a lot of difficulties, and we still kind of are. And those difficulties are really on my end, like making sure, like that the audio stuff, video stuff, and I'm also really new to live streaming, so I'm just sort of winging it. But like I said in beginning of the video, like I'll do better, I promise. Okay, so my name is Clayton Allen, and I go by Coach. So you'll probably hear that word. You'll probably hear people refer to Coach around GoCreate, and some of you already kind of know who I am, and some of you do not. I am the guy that always pulls up in the back with the big military green Humvee and does weird projects on the water jet most of the time. I am the superintendent of wing innovations for McConnell Air Force Base, and GoCreate is basically a great community partner, and this is my effort to show support for this asset to the community, and I want to try to help you guys achieve your goals, and I'm going to try to show you some of the things that I do, whether it's through code or designing in Adobe Illustrator or CAD, whatever the case may be. Like, I want to show you some of these things so that you can succeed as well. All right, so without further ado, probably like really blowing this audio out really bad. So let's start by talking about the Python stuff. Okay, so I'm going to switch over to my web browser. All right, so let's talk about Python. So for the Python like live streams that I'm going to be doing, it's primarily going to be done in Python 3.0 or 3.x or higher. There's different versions out there. You'll probably see Python 2.7 and Python 3.0 referred to quite a bit, but we are going to be doing mostly 3.0 and up. So Python.org is a starting, really good starting point for your bookmarks, if you will, because I'm going to be talking about some various things that you can do in Python. But when all else fails, if you're trying to go beyond what I'm showing in some of these Python classes that I'll be hosting, please make sure that you bookmark the Python.org website. Um, it's going to uh, have really good documentation and explain things in more detail than I will. Um, these Python courses are not meant to send you out with like a certificate or like a computer science degree. They're meant to serve um, people that want to learn how to code. And Python is like a really good language to start learning how to code. It's really popular. Uh, and I mean, I can go down the list of why it's a really good starting language, but we're just going to start with that. And it lends itself to other projects that I'm going to be talking about. For example, like the Internet of Things, right? So, what is the Internet of Things? So, if we type in IoT, uh, the Internet of Things, well, this is like an Intel version of it, but basically it's making things connected. And to put it in really, really simple terms, you can turn on and off a light bulb over the internet, or you can get information about your washing machine over the internet. And Python, as a matter of fact, you might have saw this with Python. It's right there up in the search. There's some Udemy courses here, but a lot of really good products. Like for example, this what's this called? Uh, it's called a Python. What was that product called? Python IoT device. Oh, I know what it was. Low Pi 4. Low Pi. So here we go. These are all Python-based IoT devices. So let's see, hardware development boards. So you can get various flavors of IoT devices, whether it's using cellular or LoRaWAN or Sigfox or Wi-Fi. They're all programmed with Python. So that makes things like super, super, easy for everyone. All right. So let's see here. All right. So we talked about this Python.org. If you're wanting to buy some devices, now let me just say that we or I are not endorsed by anything that I'm showing you, right? So Pycom isn't like paying me to tell you about this stuff. Um, and I'm not telling you that this is the only way to go, and neither is GoCreate. Okay, these are just various pieces of kit that I've used to achieve some of my crazy projects that I do for the military or for myself in my house. All right, so please don't think that this is like sponsored or anything or endorsed by a particular company. It's because it's truly not. All right, so let's talk about the IDEs because you need to be able to type your Python code into something, right? So there's a couple different flavors. So if we type in Python IDE or Integrated Development Environment, right off the list, you have this whole list of things that you can use to code in Python. Now, I personally use Pycharm, so we'll pull up this. Pycharm is so there's the free community version and then there's the full-fledged professional. I have the full-fledged, but you can definitely get by very nicely on the free community version. Um, let's see here. Hold on, I'm going to pause for a second and put the music up for you guys. Okay, so I am back. My daughter is upstairs, uh, jumping and losing her mind, and I'm apologizing now if you can hear that coming through the microphone. It literally sounds like Jumanji is happening upstairs. Okay, so so there's this version of Python IDE, and then there's also something called idle. Um, idle is like the, I don't want to say it's another version of an IDE, but I've never installed that. I know it's also free. Um, and then if you're, oh yeah, here's a good one. Visual Studio Code. This one is a good one also for doing Python. Just make sure that you follow the steps uh, required, right? So there's going to be some documentation. So if we go to languages, we go to Python, it's going to tell you like, okay, look, here's Python and Visual Studio Code. And it's going to tell you like everything you need to know to install Python in your computer and some things that you need to do in order to run it successfully on your computer. As long as you do these steps, as long as you follow like some of the, it's going to ask you to, hey, put this extension in, put this thing in. As long as you follow those steps and you go through this independently, you should be just fine um, when we go to do our Python classes. So the Python classes are going to be like really, 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 really basic. Uh, I'm going to show you, like the very first one is going to be where we literally do like this hello world, right? Where we get it to print, and then we'll start getting into formatting strings. We'll start getting into numbers and math with Python. Um, and as those Python things continue, I'll get a little bit more advanced and we'll just like slowly stack on the bricks. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't go on your own and do some independent research and get ahead of me, because, like, by no means am I about that. If you want to go from 0 to 60 in one day, more power to you. For those of you that are a little bit more, um, I don't want to say timid, but a little bit more wanting to stay with us and the classes that I'm going to do, hey, that's just fine too. So that's Python. The next thing that I'm going to do, or another topic that I'm going to be talking about, is Solidworks. So I'm pulling up Solidworks right now. Okay, let me close that. It's just taking a minute to load. Okay, so in SolidWorks, I'm going to be showing you some various things about how to design in SolidWorks. So, like, case in point here, I'm going to open up one of my projects that I'm doing for the COVID killing robots. Don't open any reference documents. So I'm going to show you how you can design plates like this. And then I'm going to show you like how you can have multiple configurations. in one file. So like this is just one plate, but then if I want to do like a different type of plate with a thickness and a bunch of different holes, I can just simply switch the configuration and work with this part. What's even cooler than that is that I can open this into this here. Open all reference documents. Hopefully it's all there. Okay. And you'll notice I have one fully defined layer plate here. So if I were to expand this one, I can literally go into component properties and change it to a hollow plate. It's probably going to break the design like really bad, but see, now it's a hollow plate. And I didn't have to do a lot of mess. So I'm going to switch that back to the base link. Hit OK. So yeah, once we talk about like various types of methods that you would do in SolidWorks, we'll cover like maybe you want to visualize it, right? Maybe you want to show the world like how pretty your cool new design is. So let's see here. I have the so here's like some renderings of what the robot could look like. Here's another rendering of other types of projects. Okay. So I'll show you as much as I can with SolidWorks, everything from designing simple parts to doing final visualization. Maybe you're building a portfolio for yourself. Here we go. That was just me experimenting. So anywho, cool. Yeah. So if you're worried about the whole, well, I don't have access to it, or maybe I don't have a really nice computer, maybe I don't have the software, and the software costs a lot of money. Guess what? Your friends at GoCreate have several nice computers, and they are all just sitting there waiting for you to go there and do your awesome stuff. So I'm gonna close this. Okay. And then we'll be talking about, oh, look at that. Some of this might look familiar. We'll be talking about Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. These are tools that you can use to do various types of graphic design. Like I literally made a splash screen for this dream a couple days ago. Let's see, let's go back here. Yeah, so I'll be showing you how to do like graphic design, right? Make logos. And these things lend themselves to when you want to go to GoCreate, you can literally turn right around and take things that you make on Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop and go to the Muta or the large format cannons, and you can print them out in big banners and posters or stickers and have the plotter cut out the stickers. Or you can go into the textile studio and print your designs on t-shirts or blankets or whatever. They have all kinds of tools, and so the purpose of these different live streams that I'm going to be doing is to show you how to use the tools that GoCreate to literally go from an idea or concept that you had into a legit, working whatever, a working product. And it's really simple stuff. Case in point, my son had a literature assignment where he had to take a word and then he had to put the description, or sorry, a definition of the word in his own words on the shirt with a design. So we literally went to GoCreate, we jumped on Adobe Illustrator, and whiz banged up a design of like some rocks falling on a little stick man, and we put the word collapse with his own word, his own definition on it, and uh, we did that at GoCreate. So let me see if I can pull up a Instagram. Let's see here, Instagram. I might have my Instagram logged in so I can maybe show you the switch accounts. Probably not going to be. We're not going to be the Innovation Lab one. Oh, never mind. Let's see here. I got an idea. So just bear with me. I'm going to pull this picture up for you guys. Okay. Facebook. Okay. Here we go. So here's a picture of like my son literally holding the t-shirt that he made at GoCreate. And this was literally completed. Uh, I think we probably weren't even there. Like, I don't know. We were there for an hour, but the whole between talking with Tanner and just gee whizzing about the good times and whatever, we probably had this thing done in maybe 30 minutes between designing on Adobe Illustrator and printing it on a shirt. So the purpose of these streams is to get you sort of up to speed on various steps and processes to succeed on various types of equipment. Here's the other thing too. So Adobe Illustrator is good for stuff like this, but you can also use Adobe Illustrator to create designs that you bring over to the laser cutter slash engraver that's over in the kind of like the far corner of the design studio. Um, the facility will be getting a new laser soon. Don't quote me on that, but I know that they're working really hard to add to their arsenal of laser capability. So that's coming. And again, everything that I'm going to show you is going to be things that you can do on the various types of equipment. Uh, I'll be showing you how to export DXFs for the water jet. So if you want a custom like plate made for, I don't know, something, or if you're doing some custom bracket, I'll show you how to do those kinds of things as well. Let's see here. So, all right, I think we got that covered, so I'll close that out. We talked about Python, Visual Studio, and Pycharm. We talked about Adobe Illustrator, so we can close that out. All right, so just to recap, I'll have the links down in the description below. You guys will be able to visit these various websites, put them in your bookmark bar, stuff like that. Just please make sure, like with the Python stuff, it's really going to help you by just following the basic steps to get a Python editor on your computer. Okay, if you want to keep it simple, just do Visual Studio Code. If you want to go a little bit more Gucci, if you want a little bit more feedback about Python, Pycharm is really specifically made for Python. And it'll tell you like, hey, this is why your code doesn't work. All right. So follow either one of these food chains, and we'll go from there. So next Tuesday, so let me pull my calendar up. Tuesday, the 9th of March, I will be doing a live stream on Python, and we will be putting those links out on Instagram, I'm sure, Instagram and Facebook. So every Tuesday at 7:30 is the goal. We'll be doing a live stream, so you can count on Tuesday the 9th being Python first. We're going to be talking about the IDEs and how they work, and making our first program which prints "Hello World." And then on Tuesday the 16th, we'll do another Python stream, and that'll be doing like string formatting and numbers and things like that. And then on the 23rd, we'll probably shift gears and do a Adobe Illustrator. And the 30th, we'll probably do a Solidworks live stream, so you guys can get your hands wet with that. Do bear in mind that all the software again is available to you at GoCreate's facility. They have several computers downstairs in the design studio, as well as several computers upstairs in that conference room looking area thing. So if you can't do it from your personal computer, chances are, like with Adobe Illustrator and SolidWorks, chances are you can succeed over there on those computers. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and put links in the description and bookmarks and things like that. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I knew it was short and informal. It was just really like an introduction thing, and we'll just kind of go from here.